All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, and welcome to episode number 80. It says 88. It's actually 89 of the WMMA Report regular show, where we're going to discuss everything going on within the world of women's mixed martial arts, reviews, news, previews, little of everything. Got a whole lot of fights to go over tonight between last weekend and this weekend, and some news as well. So let's get down into it. Let's see. First up, going to go into some one championship here. Let me get mouse back over. One Fists of Fury was last Friday. Had one ladies MMA bout. Victoria Lee defeated Sunisa Sreesan at 115 pounds via submission due to rear naked choke at 1 minute and 3 seconds of the second round. Victoria Lee climbed to 1-0, made a successful pro debut. Sreesan fell to 4-2. This fight went how I think most people expected it to go. Sreesan was the obviously more experienced fighter, but one championship, chose the right fighter for Lee to face in her pro debut. Sreesan was actually peppering Lee in the pocket with some strikes, even though they weren't fancy or anything. But Lee got it done. Overhyped though, like the amount of hype and hyperbole going on during this fight was beyond the pale. Definitely not worth of the hype. We'll have to see. I haven't done a full review on this fight yet. I'm still trying to get to it. I've been so busy this week. Then on Saturday, the Beast Championship 1 in Korea had two ladies bouts. First, a catchweight bout. Yejin Cho on the left there defeated Unbi Cho via decision in a largely boring, uneventful fight, just completely uneventful. The fight is available to watch if you want to go watch it by itself, or you can watch the whole event. Don't feel bad about skipping over this one. Anyway, Yejin Cho climbed 1-0. Unbi Cho fell to 0-4. Time for her to decide if she really wants to fight MMA or not, because I just haven't seen any improvement over her in 4 fights, whereas I'm not saying it's completely impossible for someone to turn it around. I've seen other fighters turn a bad start to their career around. I'm just saying it's not going to be easy. So she really needs to assess whether she wants to be an MMA fighter or not, because she lost to someone who came in on late notice as well. Then Yaron Hong defeated In-Young Che via submission due to armbar. 4 minutes, 45 seconds of the second round. Hong climbed to 3-1. Che fell to 0-1. Nice finish there for Yaron Hong. 18 years old, already 3-1 as a pro. She was getting, peppered with some shots in the first round before taking it to the ground. I was surprised there, but Yaron Hong is one of those power punchers that has a weakness against straight punches, something she definitely needs to work on in the future. It was a nice effort there by Che, but she just didn't really know what she was doing as much on the ground. Actually, I think Che might have fallen to 1-1, according to what I saw during the stream. She was 1-0. Anyway, UFC Fight Night, what was it? Rosenstrike versus Gane was on Saturday night, had two ladies bouts. First up, Alexis Davis defeated Sabina Mazo via unanimous decision in a bantamweight bout. Davis climbed to 20-10. Mazo fell to 9-2. Nice performance here by Alexis Davis. Ate a lot of punches on the feet. I mean, a lot of punches. Just her defense is just very porous. But on the opposite side, Mazo ate a ton of those low kicks to the calf, just ate a ton of them. And then once it got to the ground, it was all Alexis Davis from there. Every time she got the fight to the ground, she was just in complete control. Nice performance there for Davis at 36. I believe she halted a fight skid there. Yeah, she was on a 3-fight losing streak going into that fight and halted it there. Step back from Mazo, but she's young. She's only like 25, so she can come back. Then up on the main card, Montana De La Rosa versus Mahida Bueno Silva ended in a majority draw. De La Rosa moved to 11-6-1. Bueno Silva moved to 7-1-1. Some people were giving the fight to De La Rosa. Some people I saw were giving it to Silva. Everyone acknowledges that Silva blew it by grabbing the cage in the very first round, completely stopping a takedown with the cage grab, and affected the fight, and the referee stopped. Didn't even give a warning, just immediately took a penalty, which honestly, as someone who gets so teed off at people grabbing the cage, I was glad he just went straight for the point. It was that blatant. There was no excuse for that right there. That's good. So that is it for the fights for this past weekend. I actually have to go grab my notebook before I can read the news, so I will be right back. Okay, my apologies. I'm usually much better prepared for these than that. So, in the news, first up, UFC 261 goes down April 24th, and they added one is definitely confirmed, a flyweight title bout between Valentina Shevchenko at 20-3 and Jessica Andrade 21-8. No surprise that fight got made. I think it was just a matter of time. And then a strawweight title bout is being targeted as well for the same event between the champion, Zhang Weili, 21-1, taking on Rose Namajunas, coming in at 9-4. That fight is targeted. I believe it's like verbally agreed to, but they just haven't signed the paperwork yet. Then UFC Fight Night goes down on April 10th. Added a bantamweight bout between Bea Malecki, coming in at 2-0, and she's taking on Norma Dumont, coming in at 5-1. And then UFC Fight Night goes down March 13th. Added a flyweight bout between Courtney Casey, coming in 9-8, taking on JJ Aldrich, 8-4. I don't know why Aldrich is campaigning at flyweight. She looks way small at flyweight. And they've put her in against some of the biggest flyweights, too. Casey's like middle of the road right now at flyweight. She's still taller than Aldrich, but Aldrich has not had any luck at flyweight so far. So then WWFC 18 goes down March 14th in Kiev, Ukraine, and they added a bout. I'm not sure of the weight class. Sofia Bagishvili making her debut, taking on Valentina Semal, coming in at 1-0. Then Bellator 255 goes down April 2nd. They added a flyweight bout between Alejandra Lara and Kana Watanabe. Don't have the record there for Lara. Watanabe is 9-1. So this is going to be the full-fledged Bellator debut for rising and deep jewel star Kana Watanabe. Now, she fought for Bellator once before, last in December of 2019 for the Bellator Japan event, but she was on loan from Ryzen. So now she is a full-fledged Bellator flyweight fighter. Very excited to see what she brings in. And I think her and Lara are going to make for an exciting fight. Then UFC Fight Night goes down on May 8th. Added a flyweight bout between Roxanne Modafferi and Taila Santos. You know, Modafferi, she just keeps getting the exact fighter that tends to beat her, like in a row. Super strong, athletic type that has just enough skill to get past her. And this is exactly what Santos is. It's what Viviane Araújo was last time. And she's getting the short end of the stick again, taking on Taila Santos. This is going to be a very hard bout for Roxanne Modafferi. And then UFC has an event scheduled for June 5th. They added a flyweight bout between Marina Moroz and Manon Fiorot. That should be a darn good one. Moroz seems to be reborn at flyweight. Fiorot looks like an absolute physical specimen in there. Very big for the division, very strong, hits hard, knocks people out. This should make for a very good bout. Very excited for that one. Then UFC has an event scheduled for June 19th. Added a strawweight bout between Verna Jandiroba and Kanako Murata. Couple of, former Invicta champions there. Should be make for a good one. And then there's one other fight I just heard about earlier. Didn't get a chance to write this one down. Let me go pull it up here real quick. So Bellator 256 goes down April 9th, and they added a flyweight bout between Diana Avsaragova and Tara Graf. So Avsaragova, she is like the main training partner of UFC flyweight Liana Jojua, finally making her pro debut. She signed for with Bellator like early last year or midpoint last year. Just been waiting on her to get some, I guess, visa issues sorted out. Tara Graf was known for having fought Valerie Loretta in the past. So that is it for the news. Now, there's no real updates for this week. There was like one change at UFC flyweight. Antonina Shevchenko moved up one spot, moving Andrea Lee down one spot, but nothing really worth talking about. Doesn't even make sense at the time. So let's get into this weekend's fights. First off, we have Icon Fighting Federation 5 goes down tomorrow night, Friday, the 5th in Biloxi, Mississippi. Is that what Biloxi is? Yeah, Biloxi. Anyway, they have four ladies bouts that are going to go down live on UFC Fight Pass. First up, bring the right window up here. Okay, first up, Valerie Wong taking on Isis Burbeek. You might remember Isis from like Bellator, or no, Invicta quite a while. Actually, both of these made their pro debut in Invicta. Let's see. Anyway, Wong coming in 0-1. Burbeek also coming in 0-1. Wong coming off, of course, her pro debut in Invicta over a year and a half ago. Burbeek hasn't fought MMA in over 2 years. She is like a late replacement for Marisol Ruelas. I have no pick on this one. This is at strawweight, by the way. There's just not enough really for me to guess on either of these two. Then, is it strawweight? Yeah, strawweight. Kayla Rocco taking on Emily King. Rocco coming in 3-2. King coming in 4-4. Rocco riding 2 straight wins into this one, both at Icon. First over Jessica Solis via rear naked choke, and then over Carolyn Hinojosa via TKO. That was just over 2 months ago. King coming off a loss to Carrie Taylor Melendez via rear naked choke submission 3 months ago in Bellator. Did not look good at that bout. Let's see. They're about the same age, roughly close enough to the same height. Reach is very close as well. I'm going to go with Kayla Rocco to win this one. She's got the momentum coming into this fight. King had some nice momentum going into the fight against Carrie Melendez, but did not look good at all there. Whereas Rocco's been getting better, training with American Top Team, riding the momentum into this one as well. Neither of them have wins against the best of competition, but I feel more confident in Kayla Rocco to win this one. Then another strawweight bout, Shawna Ormsby taking on Macy Brio. Let's see, Ormsby coming in 2-2. Brio making her pro debut. Looks like she's coming off a win in the amateurs about a year ago. Ormsby coming off a split decision win a year ago for Ultimate Battle. Let's see. Ormsby's the older fighter, 29-24. Looks like Brio's the taller fighter, 5'3" - 5'1". I don't know anything about either of these two. Looks like Ormsby's fought several times for King of the Cage. So I'm not going to make a pick for this one. Good vibes indeed, Leo Garcia. All about the good vibes. So then one last bout, Alexandra Bello taking on Griffin Fisk. And this is at, it says flyweight. Topology says 130 pounds. So whichever. Let's see. Fisk making her pro debut. Ballo coming in 1-0. Looks like Alexandra Ballo's the elder fighter, 29 to 26. Roughly the same height. Don't have a reach available. Again, I can't make it. I can't make a pick on this one in good conscience. I just don't know anything about these two. But I like that Icon, a small new promotion that usually works in concert with Roy Jones Jr. boxing promotions. Usually they have the fights a day apart. But I like that Icon is putting on the ladies' bouts. And they moved to the U.S. for this one. So that's nice to see as well. So the 4 ladies' bouts all going down tomorrow night on UFC Fight Pass. So if you haven't canceled your Fight Pass yet with Invicta leaving, don't do so just yet. At least not before tomorrow night. Then we go to Sweden for Fight Club Rush number 8. Has a strawweight bout. Let's see. How do you say this girl's full name? I believe it's Josephine Lindgren Knutson taking on Adriana Fusini. And if I mispronounced either of those names, my apologies. Little Thunder Knutson making her pro debut, coming off a win in amateur 6 months ago. Fusini, the Hurricane, coming in 3-0-1, coming off a win a year and a half ago. Looks like in an Italian promotion. The Swede Knutson is 25 years old, stands 5'3", has a reach of 59.8 inches, 152 centimeters. And Fusini, I don't have any other stats for her on Tapology, so can't really tell you anything about her. I mean, she's the more experienced fighter. However, she is taking this fight on relatively late notice. Knutson's original opponent, whose name was Padroni, another Italian girl, Fabiola Padroni, had to drop out. She got arrested for drug dealing. So, I mean, she had some serious amount of drugs on her too, like 1,000 ecstasy pills and like 100 grams of MDMA, something like that. So, Fusini coming in late notice, more experienced fighter, but again, it's another one. Normally I would choose the more experienced fighter, but then I would also normally choose the fighter that was actually preparing to fight. So I can't make a prediction on this one. So then we move into UFC 259. Blachowicz versus Adesanya has 2 ladies bouts. First up at strawweight, Liviana Hanata Souza coming in 14-2, taking on Amanda Lemos coming in 8-1-1. Brazilian Gangster coming in 14-2. Amandinha coming in 8-1-1, like I said. Souza coming off a unanimous decision 6 months ago over Ashley Yoder. Before that, dropped a decision to Brianna Van Buren. Lemos coming off of 2 straight wins over Miranda Granger and then Mizuki Inoue. Let's see. Lemos is the elder fighter, 33-29. Lemos slightly taller, has a slightly better reach as well. I'm going with Amanda Lemos to win this one. Lavinia Souza, she has a harder time dealing with fighters who will really physically take the fight to her. And that's what Lemos is all about. She made her debut at, I think, bantamweight, her UFC debut, and now she's down to strawweight. I'm going to go with Lemos to win this one. Yeah, just based on the physicality issues here. Other than that, I'm not that excited for that bout anyway. And this one, I'm not that excited for either. I mean, don't get me wrong, excuse me. I got the hiccups. I'm going to watch this bout. But it's hard to get excited for something that just seems so one-sided on paper. So Amanda Nunes taking on Megan Anderson for the women's featherweight title. The Lioness, Nunes coming in 20-4. Anderson coming in 10-4. Nunes winning streak extending way back. Most recently beat Felicia Spencer for the same title 8 months ago. Megan Anderson coming off a win over Norma Dumont 11 months ago. Let's see. Nunes is 1 year elder, 32 to 31. Anderson's much taller, 6 foot to 5'8", and has the reach as well. Okay, who is Anderson? Let's talk about who Megan Anderson has beaten in the UFC. Kat Zingano via injury, Zarafan dos Santos, and Norma Dumont. Compared to her losses in the UFC, Holly Holm and Felicia Spencer. Does that in any way give you confidence in picking Megan Anderson to beat Amanda Nunes? I know it doesn't for me, because what is Anderson best at? She's best at staying on the outside and landing hard punches. But she doesn't tend to do that so well when someone gets inside on her. And that's what Amanda Nunes is going to be able to do very easily, is just get on the inside with her strikes. And then on the ground, you're talking about someone who got taken down repeatedly by Holly Holm and submitted very easily by Felicia Spencer. So I don't know if Nunes will submit Anderson, but she's definitely going to be able to take her down. And if not absolutely beat the crap out of her or submit her, at least be able to keep her down long enough to dominate there. And I see Nunes winning on the feet as well as soon as she gets inside, which isn't that hard on Megan Anderson. Amanda Nunes is the obvious pick to make here. Now, this is MMA. Anything can happen in an MMA fight. But I just see no reason to pick Megan Anderson in this bout at all. People are going to say, well, she hits hard. Yeah, but she doesn't hit as hard as Amanda Nunes. So, anyway, the final event for this weekend is going to be a Deep Jewels 32, which goes down live early Sunday morning in the U.S. via online pay-per-view. I don't have to work Sunday morning, so I plan on watching this live. And I'm going to do a companion stream as well if things go according to plan. So be on the watch out for that if you want to get up and watch. Also, if you order the iPay-per-view for a certain day, you actually get like an early bird discount. It goes from like $28 to like $23. So if you're going to order it early. Anyway, I'm only going to do like a quick run through of the pro MMA bouts for this card because I did a full preview of this event a couple nights ago. So please go check that video out after this one's done. Anyway, first up at minus 55 kilograms or 121 pounds, Kate Lotus coming in 1-0, taking on Hime, making pro debut. I'm taking Kate Lotus. Then at strawweight, Amiba Yuka Oya taking on Shoko Fujita. Oya's coming in 9-8. Fujita coming in 0-0, making her pro debut. Fujita is known for having beaten Kate Lotus in an amateur bout. Oya is riding like I think a 3-fight losing streak into this. I don't feel confident picking either of these two to win. I mean, between the losing streak and then just a debutante, you never know. I'm not making a pick on this one. Then you have Yukari Nabe taking on Miko Nirvana Shimizu at flyweight. Yukari Nabe coming in 8-3, Shimizu coming in 2-2. I'm taking Nabe. She hasn't fought in over a year because of injuries, but I'm taking Nabe just via more experience, more well-rounded. Expect her to be better on the ground as well. So we're going with Yukari Nabe to win that one. Then we get into the atomweight tournament quarterfinals. Quarterfinals go down on this event, and then the semifinals and final round bout go down at Deep Jewels 33 sometime in May. For the winner will be crowned the new Deep Jewels atomweight champion. Anyway, first up, Hikaru Ono coming in 6-4, taking on Emi Sato coming in at 4-5. I'm going for Ono. Sato is coming in off of, I think, like 2 or 3 straight losses here. She was actually a replacement for another fighter who got injured and couldn't fight in the tournament. So Sato did beat Aono back in like 2017, 2018, but I'm going with Hikaru Aono this time. She could find her way into another submission the way she tends to do sometimes. And by that, I mean, get caught in a submission and have to tap out. But I'm going to go with Hikaru Aono to win this one. I feel more confident in her winning the stage than Emi Sato. Then Aya Murakami taking on Sakura. Murakami coming in 1-0. Sakura coming in at 3-1. I'm taking Sakura to win this one. More experienced MMA-wise. Now, Murakami is no slouch on the ground, and if it goes to the ground, she could easily win here. But I'm taking Sakura via just more MMA experience. Then we have Shiyu Park, the only non-Korean in the tournament, taking on Mizuki Oshiro. Park coming in 4-2. Oshiro Nisei coming in at 2-2. I am taking Shiyu Park to win this one. She is going to be way better on the feet. She's no slouch on the ground. She's not great on the ground. That is where Nisei was going to have her best bet. But I see Park being the bigger fighter. Nisei has mostly fought at weight, 97 pounds. This is like 105, 106. I see Park just coming out ahead, and she's actually my favorite to win this tournament. And then finally, final bout of the weekend, Saori Oshima coming in at 3-2, taking on Emi Tomimatsu, coming in at 15-7. And I am taking Tomimatsu. She is way more experienced. Yes, she has that losing record right now, and she's on a losing streak right now, but I can't pass the crafty veteran here. Also, she's coming into this tournament knowing, this is my final chance at glory, and I expect her to take full advantage of that. And Oshima is still getting started in her career. Not a bad fighter either. She's the deep microweight champion, but I think this is Tomimatsu's fight to win here. So I'm going with Emi Tomimatsu. That is it for this weekend's upcoming fights. Also, that's going to be it for this episode number 89 of the WMMA Scene Report. Let me know anything we discussed in the comments down below. Watching on playback. If you like the vid, put a like as well and share it and help word of the channel grow. Looks like a good fight's coming up. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a live fight companion for Deep Jewels 32. That's early Sunday morning in the U.S. Order it and go to deepjewels.com. If you use Chrome, it should translate everything to English. Should be able to find the link easily enough. I'll also try to put it in the description or a pinned comment down below. So that's it for tonight. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. Share the video, and while you're at it, go ahead subscribe to WMMA now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.